discuss starting from historical information. The Parmanu, atoms, molecules, law of chemical combination, law of constant proportion, law of multiple proportion, law of conservation of mass, atoms, Dalton's atomic theory, atomic weight, atomic mass unit. These things, these terms are discussed in this chapter, the chapter 3, atoms and molecule. So starting from the first, Maharishi Kanal, the word, the particle nature of matter, starting from the term is come from the Indian philosopher Maharishi Kanal around 400 BC. 400 BC, he gave the postulate about the particle nature of matter. This is important and very important. This chapter is very important for your higher classes. This chapter you will be studying in very detail in class 11th. So this is a very base and elementary knowledge and very knowledgeable information about them. This historical background of this information is a base in the development of chemistry. These personalities are make contribution, very important contribution in the developing of chemistry. These are first the Maharishi Kanal, the Indian philosopher who gave the postulate about the particle nature of matter. Important, the statement is that Maharishi Kanal say that if we keep dividing the particles of matter, keep dividing, the finally stage will come, the obtained matter, obtained divisible matter is not divisible. Not going to divide. If we, I repeat again, the particles of matter keeps dividing, the stage will come, the obtained product, obtained particles is not divisible further. And this not further divisible particle of matter is termed by Maharishi Kanal in 400 BC. The name is Parmanu. And the Democritus, I'm right here. Democritus and Lysippus or the Greek philosopher and say same thing about them. The terms given atoms means indivisible. Maharishi Kanal starting from the Indian philosopher around the 400 BC, he gave the term the indivisible particles of matter is Parmanu, and same times about them the Democritus and Lysippus are Greek philosopher say that the same postulate about them, after dividing the particles of matter, the one stage will come, the obtained particles is not further divided. They say that atoms and means indivisible. And that Antony L. Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust, they give the law of chemical combination, which are law of conservation of mass, second law of constant proportion, third law of multiple proportion. So you in your class 9th you will study about there is only two law, which is law of conservation of mass, and law of constant proportion. And here is our Dalton atomic theory. Daltons give the proper atomic theory. These scientists did not give any book. They only tell about the special terms, which is Parmanu, and these Greek philosophers say that atoms means indivisible. And Antony L. Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust give the law of chemical combination, which are law of constant proportion and law of conservation of mass. The John Dalton gave the postulate about the atoms. And forward in the next time some limitations of the Dalton's postulates. So we will start about the let's just start about the Antoine L. Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust. They give the law of chemical combination about this atoms and molecule, which is law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportion. The great contribution of this Antoine L. Lavoisier, that we record as the father of chemistry. So student, we are talking about the law of chemical combination, which is given by Antoine L. Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust. The first law is law of conservation of mass. Second law of constant proportion, and law of multiple proportion. This law of multiple proportion you will study in higher class, in class 11. So we will, in your class 9, we will discuss about only two laws of chemical combination, which is constant proportion, law of conservation of mass, and law of constant proportion. Let's discuss about law of conservation of mass. Hello. Law of conservation of mass. This law is understood by with the help of example, but I give the statement. The statement given by Antoine L. Lavoisier in 1774. It say that during the chemical reaction, there is the mass is conserved. Means the total mass of reactant is equal to total mass of product. He say that during the chemical reaction, the mass is conserved. The chemical reaction will follow the rule of law of conservation of mass, and he say that the law of conservation of mass, which is that the mass is neither be created or nor to be destroyed. It is conserved during the chemical reaction. Mass is neither be created nor to be destroyed during chemical reaction. It conserves in chemical reaction. This statement is given by Antoine L. Lavoisier. He said that mass is neither be created nor to be destroyed during the chemical reaction. It conserves during the chemical reaction. It is proved with the help of example, which is suppose formation of hydrochloric acid. HCl. It is an acid compound and formed by the combination of H2Cl2 given 2HCl. So let's talking about the conservation of mass. This chemical reaction is follow the rule of conservation of mass. How it happened? Let's see. We know that in this chapter we have also know about atomic mass, and we have also learned about near about 20 to 30 atomic mass of element, 20 to 30 element. So hydrogen is 1. So 2 hydrogen is 2, and the chlorine atomic mass of chlorine is, we know that chlorine atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5 gram. 1 chlorine, there is a 2 chlorine, into 2 5 are 0, 2 5 are 0, and 2 3 are 6. plus 1, 7. 70. Here is 70 plus 70 plus, here is the 1. 71 plus 71 into 2. Here is a 71. 2 gram and 2 gram hydrogen and 71 gram chlorine, and here is a 2 molecule of HCl, and weight is also, let's see, 2 into hydrogen 1 plus 35.5, and it will be equal to 73 gram. Here is a 73 gram and here is a 73 gram. So amount of reactant, these are our reactant. Amount of reactant is equal to amount of product, which is 73 gram. So there is a no loss, no destruction of mass during the chemical reaction from the reactant to product. So we can say that during the chemical reaction, mass will be conserved and it follows the rule of law of conservation of mass. So I will repeat again. Here is a hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, and here is the 2 chlorine. So 1 chlorine is weight, atomic mass of chlorine 35.5. We know in this chapter about different element. So the chlorine atomic mass is 35.5 gram and hydrogen atomic mass is 1. So 2 hydrogen is 2 gram and chlorine is 2 chlorine. This is 31 gram. Plus 10 and is a 73 gram. The 73 gram of reactant form 2 HCl, and which will be equal to 73 gram. So we can say that the mass of reactant is equal to mass of product. So in this way, there is this chemical reaction follow the rule of law of conservation of mass. It is given by Anthony L. Lavoisier. Let's take another example of which is formation of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. This is our carbon dioxide compound. This is our element carbon, and this is the oxygen. The carbon and oxygen get combined to each other, formation of carbon dioxide. So here is a carbon and oxygen combine to form carbon dioxide, and just we know what is the weight, atomic weight of the carbon. The carbon is 12 gram and oxygen is 16 gram, and combined to form 1 to 28 gram combined, also 28 gram. So into 2 and this is mistake, 12 gram and 1 oxygen, atomic mass is 16 into 2, because it is 2 oxygen. Because here is the 2 oxygen, 16 to the 32 plus 12, 2 to 4, 3 1, 4, 44 gram carbon and oxygen. 44 gram carbon and oxygen means 32 gram oxygen. 32 gram oxygen. 32 gram oxygen combined to form 44 gram. 44 gram as you calculate, which is carbon 12 plus oxygen 16. Here is 2 oxygen into 2 So 12 plus 32 is equal to 44 ml. So if we talking about the ratio of carbon and oxygen during the formation of carbon dioxide, so we will find with the help of 4, it will be crossed by 4, it will be divided by 4, it will be 4 3s are 12 is to 4 8 are 32, 4 8 are, there is a 12 gram carbon, there is a 32 gram oxygen, because one oxygen is equal to 16 gram and 2 oxygen will be atomic mass. The true atomic mass of oxygen will be 32. So here is how we have take the atomic ratio, atomic weight ratio. So there is a 12 gram of carbon, there is a 32 gram of oxygen. So if we divide and take the smallest ratio of carbon and oxygen, divide by 4, 4 3s are 12 and 4 8s are 32, it will be 3 is to 8 ratio. The ratio of carbon and oxygen product to form carbon dioxide molecule, these ratio does not differ during the chemical reaction. Means 3 gram carbon and 8 gram, the 8 gram oxygen ratio combined to form the one carbon dioxide molecule, and the carbon dioxide molecule, the two reactants, which is 3 gram carbon and ratio of 8 gram of oxygen. So everywhere in the universe we will find the carbon dioxide compound contain the ratio of carbon and oxygen. The ratio will be 3:8 everywhere in the universe. This ratio did not differ everywhere in the universe. Suppose if we are talking about ratio of S2 is formed by S2 plus O2 given by H2O. Here is S2. There is a 4, there is a 16 oxygen, 1 oxygen 8, 2 oxygen 16, 1 hydrogen 1 and 4 hydrogen, 2 to the 4 hydrogen is 4. Here is that if we take the smallest, only one S2, 2. If we take the simplest ratio between the hydrogen and oxygen, I will write again like that, which is H2 plus O2 give H2. It will be calculating as 2 hydrogen means 2 gram and 2 oxygen means 1 oxygen will be equal to 1 oxygen atomic mass of 8 and 8 2s are 16 and it will be 60. The atomic ratio between hydrogen and oxygen during the formation of water molecule, it will be 2 1s are 2 and 2 8s are 16. So it will be the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen during the formation of H2O molecule will be 1:8, and this 1:8 ratio of the hydrogen and oxygen during the formation of water molecule is same in everywhere in the universe, and it is the law of constant proportion. It will be discussed again in the heading of law of constant proportion. It will be discussed tomorrow.